All right, we are live. There is no introduction video because apparently StreamYard wants to charge you for our introduction videos now. So I may have to use something new. But listen, you don't stream for a while. That's what happens. Your software changes. They start adding features and asking you to pay for features. That's what happens. So here we are, though. We are together. It's been a while. And I'm just texting my wife, telling her to deal with the children. But it's good to be here virtually with you all. I already see Alexa's in the chat and Boston Base is in the chat. Thank you very much, Boston Base, for the angel emojis and the donation to the stream. Very kind of you. What do you guys want to talk about? Let me actually just share a link to the stream so other people on Twitter can know that we're live. And we can get started. I mean, there's definitely some things to talk about that have happened in the last several months. Some of them in the last couple of days that are pretty intense. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Having to watch someone get murdered on the timeline, that was pretty tough to watch. And yeah, that was insane. I mean, that's been on my mind pretty hardcore, actually. I guess that was 2 days ago. It's a strange way to start a stream together with you all again. But anyway, Stan says no one missed me. Thanks, Stan. I missed you so much, Stan. Just kidding, I didn't. But yeah, that was so messed up. Like back in my day, back when I was younger, you had to really search for that kind of a gore. And I definitely watched my fair share of terrible shit when I was younger, and even when I was older. I mean, I'm very curious, and I watch some things that give me nightmares sometimes, but never before has there been something where you literally just like log in to Twitter and it's all over the place. Someone getting murdered all over the place. And that was just awful. And however you feel about this guy, Charlie Kirk, like his opinions, some of his opinions were like absolutely abhorrent, terrible. I mean, like, if you go down the rabbit hole a little bit and you see some of the opinions this guy had, they were terrible. I mean, he was on one of those shows where you're in like a round circle with the college kids, and they asked him about like what his feelings about children who get pregnant when they're, raped, and they gave the example of his daughter was 10, and he said like he'd want that daughter to deliver the child. Like, that's crazy. And then there's another clip, of course, that people are sharing because he ironically was murdered by gun violence, and he said something like, a little bit of gun violence is necessary to uphold the Second Amendment. Not at all saying that this guy deserved to be killed. He didn't. That was just terrible to watch. I think it was awful that his kids were in the audience and his wife was in the audience. Just totally, totally sad and terrible that had to happen. Anyway, so hope you guys had a nice summer. I had a nice summer. My family and I took my kids to Disney World in Paris. That was fun. Going to Disney World, though, in the middle of the summer, not recommended. Very hot, a lot of swass. You may know what swass is. It's swamp ass. No, I don't know if the swamp ass was that bad, to be honest, but just thinking about it gives me swamp ass. And it was a good time, though. Disney World is a fun time, no matter where you go. If it's in France or anywhere else, it's a fun time. Long lines, overpriced, not very good food, but a fun time either way. In Paris, Boston Base, he's saying, where was it? In Paris. And Alexa said, public executions are not cool, even for the guilty. Yeah, I agree. And actually, that's something that Charlie Kirk thought that we needed more of. So his takes were insane, but still, you should be able to have insane takes and not be murdered. That's pretty much where I'm getting with that. Yeah, Stan says this is what the show starts back up with. Listen, I can't help it. This is what was in my mind for the last couple of days. But yeah, we don't have to spend the whole show talking about Charlie Kirk's murder. We can definitely talk about other things. We could talk about NBA Top Shot. We can talk about some things that are happening in the NBA. And just sports, just on the Twitter timeline, the cryptocurrency, everything's happening all at once. The U.S. economy, everything. Whatever you guys want to discuss, we can discuss. It's been a while. I watched some really good series and one film in the theater, in the movie theater, the cinema. I don't know if you saw my tweets. but the movie that I saw is Weapons, which is a horror film, but it's like a funny, entertaining horror film. And if you haven't seen it yet and it's still in theaters and you're into that kind of thing, you're not a scaredy cat, I definitely recommend it. It was a really good movie, really entertaining, a little bit mysterious, some parts that were a little scary, a lot of dark humor, really interesting way that they told the story. So highly recommended you go check out that movie if you haven't seen it yet. That is Weapons. And then I've been watching some series too, like Black Mirror. I got into the new Black Mirror. I thought the first episode of Black Mirror was really interesting, a really interesting take on capitalism and the healthcare industry. Other than that, though, I watched a few other ones. Wasn't too crazy about them. And man, I forgot to bring a glass of water. And there's a documentary on Netflix about the O.J. Simpson case, about all the trial and all the information that they could have used and they didn't. That was really interesting too. So, talk Panini, says Boston Base. So, Panini, I actually looked into something on Panini because Panini does have a lot of attention and a lot of big sales lately, and it's pretty surprising. It's surprising because I knew about Panini, as I'm guessing most of you did, back when Top Shot was doing its biggest numbers ever. That's when Panini did exist back then, and so I was curious because I remember registering for Panini back then, but I don't remember anything really happening when I was looking at Panini in those days. And you could see that in February of 21, right? That in February of 21, Top Shot was doing $40 million in a day. And I think it was in late February of 21. Top Shot did $40 million of transactional volume in one day, if I'm not mistaken. We can double check it, but I'm pretty sure that's what the number was. And you can see that at that time, Panini did 4,000. Now, Panini did have a couple other peaks in volume around here. I'm not sure I don't know that all this data is 100% correct, but they said they did 1.5 million in July of 21, etc. And if you look right now, Panini is doing some really big numbers again. You can see that these spikes in sales volume. So like this guy Spinatron, he makes a few splashes, and there you go. They do $2 million in a day, $1.6 million in a day. So Panini is doing big numbers lately, and I'm not 100% sure I understand it. There's also the fact that Panini is losing its basketball license in next season. So this is the last season, 24-25. This is the last time that Panini can make NBA collectibles, be it physical or digital, and use official NBA markings like the NBA logos, the team logos. This is the last time they can do it, and people are still aping in. Like you still see people making these insane buys of these Kaboom cards. There's a Caitlin Clark Kaboom card that just sold on Panini for I think $175,000 because it was basically a couple of whales that were like bidding against each other. And I saw like the article, and then Spinotron, the biggest whale of the whole platform, decided to just go ahead and hit the buy now button because he was scared of the back and forth. So he spent $175,000 on that Panini Caitlin Clark card. Now, my initial take on this, so the initial take, of course, is that I don't truly understand why there's so much interest in Panini. But if you can get beyond that and you can just say, all right, well, there's interest in Panini because the physical collectors of Panini have decided to come over to the digital side. Well, if that's the case, which it does seem like it is, then I guess that should be bullish for other collectibles, including NBA Top Shot. If the biggest purchases are happening on the NBA side, that should be bullish for NBA Top Shot. And we actually saw that Spinotron, the big whale of Panini, he bought one of the most expensive items on NBA Top Shot. By the way, I see that my mic is using my headphone mic and not my beautiful mic, so let's change that. All right, so now I should sound a lot more silky smooth. Uh, but anyhow, that's what's going on there. And you know something else, by the way, about this new StreamYard. So Boston Base just wrote breaking news. I want to play my breaking news clip, but guess what happens if I click it? It doesn't let me. It says your plan comes with one example video, and if you'd like to share your own videos, you got to upgrade. So StreamYard, you can suck on it. Yeah. All right. So yeah, that's my take on Panini. Like, as with any other NFT project, it almost seems that kind of like the facts or just the background around the NFT or the story around it or the artwork or whatever else, that stuff is all secondary. That stuff only looks really beautiful when price go up. When price don't go up, that stuff's not so beautiful and people don't care all that much about those other things. When price go up, all of a sudden, people are talking about Panini cards and how beautiful this kaboom is and how shimmery the little 3D card is when you twist it around on your screen. It did that 4 years ago when these things were worth nothing. It's the same technology, it's the same 3D card, but now it's beautiful because some people are spending eye-watering amounts of money on the cards. Anyway, as a primarily NBA Top Shot audience, like I think that if you want to dip your toes in the Panini waters, go ahead. It does feel very hypey. And they're going to lose their license. So I don't know. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that means that, people are going to want to hold on to the cards from this season. And it's going to hold some extra value for that reason. If that's the case, then when people FUD NBA Top Shot and say one day they're going to lose their license, well, in that case, you should start buying more. Because if losing licenses makes your cards go up in value, well, shit, that's a great plan, isn't it? Anyway, Alexa says buy the top. Boston Base says we can picture it and it's beautiful, and that my voice just matured. So that's Panini. And if you're not aware, and I'm sure most of you are aware, but the NBA license, it's going over to Topps/Fanatics. And Topps is I don't know if they have an NFT project or do they? I don't know if Fanatics has an NFT product. I think the Fanatics guy, Ruben or Jeffrey Ruben Epstein or whatever his name is, he is not a fan of NFTs. So it's possible we may not see that competition from that side or like another big NBA NFT project. We might not see that while Topps has the license. If that's the case, I actually don't even think that's a good thing. I think competition in the market is good. And I think that also it's introducing these other players, these other buyers. Like I said, Spinatron made a big splash. I think he spent like $50,000 or $60,000 on the MGLE. No, was it? I think it was the legendary LeBron TSD from Series 1. And that's a big deal. And you would think that the other collectors would start following him along the same way they're doing in Panini. So I don't think it's a good thing to not have the competition. You can even think about it in wrestling terms, pro wrestling terms, of course. Pro wrestling was its most entertaining when the WWF, that's what it was known at the time, when the WWF and the WCW were going head to head. That's when pro wrestling was the most entertaining. And the wrestlers would get out of their contract on one show and they'd be on the next show the next day or the next week, and it would be the biggest deal ever. That was the best time to watch pro wrestling. And it reminds me of this. It was two massive competitors, two juggernauts going head to head and making things more interesting. Competition is a good thing. All right, let's keep it going. Boston Base is making Charlie Kirk jokes. And Alexo said the MMXX. Yeah, that was the LeBron that he bought. Right. So That's what I think about Panini, and that's what I think about, what's going on with Charlie Kirk getting murdered. What else do we want to talk about? Well, what's going on in NBA Top Shot? I also know that this Kawhi Leonard thing also in terms of NBA news, and I really want to play my Kawhi laughs. You're just gonna have to imagine it. Rah, 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 rah. Right? I can't play my videos anymore, so now we're just gonna have to imagine my videos. They want me to pay $35 a month to be able to play my videos. Get out of town. So what was I saying? Yes. What's going on NBA Top Shot and Kawhi Leonard? So yeah, Kawhi Leonard. That's a really interesting story. I'm sure if Mike Weisberg was here, he'd probably want to talk about it for the next hour. I know, right? I want to play the handshake. I can't. I think they let me upgrade for like a month for free. Maybe I should just do that. I don't know. Do that and then cancel my credit card. But the Kawhi Leonard thing definitely looks shady. If it quacks like a duck, if it walks like a duck, it's probably a duck. In this case, that's looking very ducky. Very ducky, very ducked up. Steve Ballmer's doing some shady shit. And then he was going on ESPN and saying, like, no, those guys actually screwed me. Doesn't seem like that makes any sense, Steve Ballmer. Why would the third party cover organization who is paying Kawhi Leonard millions of dollars, how is that not connected to you? That makes absolutely no sense. Whoever told him to go and speak on ESPN to try to peddle that flavor of bullshit. I think the Clippers are in trouble. I think the Clippers are going to lose draft picks. I think they're going to get penalized, etc., etc. And Cam also, or Packtrip also asked, like, where would I want to see Kawhi Leonard play? I want to see Kawhi Leonard play anywhere, period. I just want to see him play basketball. So I don't care where he plays. I'd like to see him play on the Celtics. I'd like to see him go back to the Spurs. I think that would be a fun story. Go play with Wemby. I mean, any team that gets a healthy Kawhi Leonard would be interesting. I mean, seeing him go back to the Raptors would be really fun. There's a lot of teams that would be really fun to see Kawhi Leonard go to. Duck Race says, Alexo. Boston Bay says, one take I saw was, who cares? Why you snitching? That's true. Alexa said, how can the Clippers get worse? Yeah, the Clippers really do seem like a cursed team, don't they? It really seemed like they were turning it around over there. And all of a sudden, no, they're going to, I mean, what's going to happen when they lose a whole bunch of draft picks? It's not going to be good. So that's Kawhi Leonard. Local news says Boston based. Some ice trucks were driving down our highway north of Boston, swerving lanes, brake checking people, acting aggressively to the general public. Kind of crazy. All right. Well, I hope. I know that those you're probably talking about ice in terms of the people that get rid of the brown people, but hopefully you're talking about ice that goes in your Coca-Cola. So if we go look at Top Shot, and you're gonna have to excuse how my browser renders this website because my browser doesn't seem to like Top Shot, the website. But right now, we see that there's a hollow icon drop. WNBA legends minted to 49. Chase, Paige Beckers, and Kiki. It's embarrassing. I don't know how to pronounce all these names. I'm just going to embarrass myself. But Chase, 1 of 1 rookie ultimates, and you got some Chase packs. These ones sold out. There were 5,000 Chase packs. I believe those were for $5. That's the signature hit. Yep. Those are $5, and those seem to sell out pretty quickly. Those sold out pretty quickly. So those were priced A-OK, and those sold out really quickly. And if you go to the legendary option, those are still available. There's 97 available out of 199. And the 1 of 1 page is in these ultimate Chase packs. And there was 27,210 of those with 20,856 remaining. So I don't know, quick math. What is that? 7,000 out of 27. That's like maybe 25% have sold. 75% still available. These packs are $10, and the one of one is still there. The one of one is still in that pack. So there you go. Let's see. Those are my notifications. Yeah, these are the different NBA, WNBA stars. I mean, there's also some trade and auctions, challenges, and airdrops, depending on what's your flavor. We got those phantom threads and legendary threads. I enjoyed those phantom threads and legendary threads. I know they got kind of a lot of hate. I think that Top Shot did make a mistake though. They messed up in terms of releasing rares of the same players in back-to-back, or I think it might have even been in the same series or as back-to-back series. I think that that obviously was a mistake. And their resolution was to offer, I think, burn backs for when the next piece of supply comes from those players. If I'm not mistaken, I don't actually remember exactly what the details were, but some people in the community were not too happy about that because they basically said, so, you guys released all this extra supply that you weren't supposed to. And now, instead of getting some like a monetary something back now, we have to like get new supply instead and use the old supply to get the new supply. I'm not an economist. I don't know what the answer is. If that's what makes the most sense in terms of like marketplace health, perhaps. I just don't understand it well enough to really say what I think is the best plan of action for something like that. But it was a mistake, and I think that if they're going to rely on like AI to avoid mistakes like that again, I don't know how much I trust AI, honestly. I think AI can make plenty of mistakes too. I don't know if you guys have used AI recently, but AI makes lots of mistakes. I mean, I use ChatGPT all the time. They get simple mathematical equations wrong sometimes. And like AI definitely makes mistakes. So at the end of the day, and maybe that's a good thing for the human condition, for the people that believe that AI is going to take away all our jobs. I mean, it's already doing it. I don't know if you guys are aware, but the unemployment numbers came out recently and they're not very good. The Federal Reserve is going, or I think it's the Fed, or they're going to cut interest rates because they have to keep the economy strong while the unemployment numbers tank, get worse, or balloon, however you want to say it. So yeah, AI is taking a lot of jobs right now and will continue to. So yeah. So don't just rely on AI is what I'm trying to say. Top Shot Hotshot says we'll miss you, Boston Base. That's true, Boston Base. Have fun in Mexico. Have fun in Mexico, Boston Base. Look at that little face that Boston Base just put in the chat. Little cute little purple face. FMK Spice Girls Tandy. I don't know what that means. FMK? I don't know what that means. Stan Love says one of one gets pulled. These packs are worthless. Well, I mean, obviously having a one of one available in the packs brings up their value quite a bit. And once that gets taken out of the packs, the value of those packs drops quite a bit, of course. Boston Bay says, you're so America cucked, you're not thinking fourth dimensionally. I don't even know what the hell you're talking about, Boston Bay. I'm going to be honest. Oh, Fudge, Marry, Kill. Spice Girls? Really? We're talking about the Spice Girls? What year is it? 1994? Fudge, Marry, Kill. Spice Girls? I don't want to kill any Spice Girls. Boston Base? Can I just give them all back massages and take them out to a nice seafood dinner? What else is going on? Oh, sorry. Okay, that's okay. I appreciate you apologizing. Oh, you're saying sorry, that's the game. Well, I'm sorry too. You can tell me who you're fudging and marrying and killing in the chat if you'd like. What else, everybody? What else have we not covered? It's been a long summer. I'm trying to rack my brain thinking about the things that have happened just on the timeline and in sports and just what people have been chatting about. Why don't you guys let me know what else you want to discuss and we can discuss it. Did you guys have good summers? What did you guys do for your summer breaks? Why don't you tell me in the chat? What'd you do? Yeah, I'm scrolling to see if there's anything else I can remember to discuss. Oh, there's more like terribly violent murder also in America. That poor lady on the bus or the train who got murdered. That was bad too. That was like in the last week. So in like 1 week, we got two very graphically violent video clips just on the timeline, just scrolling through the timeline, trying to read Mike Zakarian's latest musings, Mike Zakarian's comedic takes on the timeline. And what do you see in between Mike Zakarian make a Nikola Jokic joke? You see a poor woman getting stabbed to death on a train. And then you see Charlie Kirk's neck with a geyser of blood spurting out of his neck. It looks like Niagara Falls of blood coming out of his neck. Just in between Mike Zakarian's NBA hot takes. So yeah, that's what's going on. That's what's going on the timeline. That seems wrong. Not gonna lie. And Boston Base too. He's doing the what about game. What about the 60,000 dead in Palestine? That's true. And there was a school shooting, I think yesterday. There was a possible shooting in UMass Lowell. And then, if that wasn't enough, there's a possible shooting in UMass Boston today. So I don't know. I don't know if it's just the media in America or if it's America. I mean, America has a large population. A lot of weird shit happens in America. But something about being hyper connected to everything that goes on and having smartphones everywhere and security cameras everywhere. It's like you see everything. You see the worst of everything if you want to. But yeah, there's tragedy happening everywhere in the world right now. Alexa wants Trumpy. What do you want? Stan says Tandy left to touch grass and came back morbid. Yeah, look, it's just mostly this last week, Stan. I mean, before this last week, I wasn't feeling overly morbid, but this last week really triggered me in the wrong direction, I must say. This last week has been tough. If you are online all the time, as I am, you see a lot of stuff and some pretty terrible stuff, at least in this last week. And Boston Base says it's our warped sense of idolatry of guns and gun culture, exacerbated by special interests. Going down a dark hole here. Exacerbated by special interests. Yeah, well, I think that's been the problem with the gun culture in America for a very long time. The American politics can never truly deal with gun culture because of those special interests. And Stan says the first half of Sinners was good. Tandy doesn't know cinema. I thought it was okay the first half. I thought it was a little slow. Stan. I can't help it. I was waiting for something exciting to happen. And the first half of Sinners wasn't exciting. It was world building. If you're into world building, that's fine. Some people are into world building. There was a Quentin Tarantino movie about those murders. What was it called again? One Night, One Day in Hollywood, something like that. And I actually really enjoyed that movie, even though there was a lot of world building in that movie. It was, just feeling the authenticity of the set and setting and scene and scenery and other S words that this movie was taking place in. And I can understand if you enjoyed that in Sinners, that's okay. But I thought the second half of Sinners was very entertaining. So I actually thought Sinners was a good movie. I'm not saying it wasn't a bad movie, but the first half was just a little slow. Stan, that's how I felt. Jeez, Louise. Switching my monitor to cinema mode for these Tandy takes. Thank you, Boston Base. Hopefully my skin is more bronze. Alexo says Friendship was a good movie. Friendship was a good movie, Alexo. I watched Friendship. I thought that it seems like every show or movie that Tim Robinson does is basically just the same character in different scenarios. And I'm all here for it. I'm here for it. I like it. I like Tim Robinson playing the same exact character in different scenarios. I think that's great. It was a good movie. It was pretty weird. I thought it was going to be a little more of your typical comedy. It was pretty dark comedy, but it was funny. Boston Bay says the new Lethal Weapon is fun and light. Ooh, sounds like light Velveeta cream cheese. And Top Shot Hot Shot says Stan and Tandy, Standy. That's right. Um, what else, guys? What else do you want to talk about? Yeah, so I kind of was not like not kinda. I was not streaming during the Phantom Thread stuff. There was a lot of people really hating on those Phantom Threads. I mean, let me see if I can bring it up to give us something to look at while I talk about Phantom Threads. Let's see. Phantom Threads. Bring it back. Bring me my Phantom Threads. All right, let's look at Phantom Threads. So yeah, Phantom Threads. We actually have some new moments from Phantom Threads. These rewards, including Patrick Ewing and Dominique Wilkins on the Spurs and Dennis Rodman on the Lakers. Wait, how can I just look at the moments? Here we go, moments. Would feel okay. I'm back. I'm back. I don't know how that. I don't know what just happened, but my internet just dropped out. But I am back. Sorry about that. My takes were too hot. My takes were too hot. All right. Anyway, Phantom Threads. That's what we were talking about. Phantom Threads. Yeah, a lot of people hated on Phantom Threads. Uh, you know, rip you the obvious mistake. But I don't think you have to collect every single moment of every single player. I thought this is a core moments. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I thought it was fine. Did you guys collect Phantom Threads? Let me know in the chat. Do you guys like Phantom? Personally, otherwise I don't really care. Um, yeah, Boston Base doesn't like it. Boston Base says Phantom Threads blows. My internet is so Okay, well, my internet is really struggling. Jesus Christ. I feel like I'm on the, when you on the old days when you had the phone line and someone would call your house and then your internet would drop. I don't think you kids in the chat don't know what I'm talking about. But when I was a young man and I had to use dial-up internet, and then when someone called the house, your internet would drop. So someone's calling the house, and that's why this internet keeps dropping. My 28.8 modem keeps dropping because people keep calling the house. Um, yeah. All right. Is there anything else that you guys want to talk about? Let's see. Who would Trump blame for Tandy's bad internet? It's the Chinese. The Chinese. Right, wing ping ping, and not a nice guy. Um, yeah. Thank you, Top Hot Hotshot. It's very kind. Too. Let's talk Lucis Boss Base. Do seem kind of evil. I don't understand why Labubus are so popular. I don't know how that happened. I don't know what kind of industry plant the Labubus are. Oh wow, this internet's bad. Huh? This internet is so bad. Um rough start. Rough start. Rough start to be streaming again and the internet just keeps dropping. Good lord. Yeah, the Labubus they look kind of evil. That's what I was trying to say. I swear this internet keeps dropping. I don't know. I might have to give up soon if this doesn't stop happening. But Logan Paul versus John Cena, says Alexo. We talking wrestling? I actually did see that. I think Logan Paul's a very interesting guy. He's you can't help but watch Logan Paul. And he's actually very athletic. And he had a very good wrestling match with John Cena if you're into that kind of thing. But I think that Logan Paul's problem, and you can actually compare it to Hulk Hogan, the legendary Hulk Hogan, who died also recently. Hulk Hogan didn't have a good move set. He wasn't a very athletic wrestler. He was like in Japan before he started wrestling in the WWF, basically. But Hulk Hogan had the crowd in the palm of his hand with a very limited move set. And Logan Paul has a lot more physical capability, but I feel like he doesn't have the crowd in his hand the way that Hulk Hogan did. So Logan Paul, while I think he's a very talented wrestler, he's a very talented physical wrestler. I think he's got a long way to go in terms of the crowd work. John Cena is very good at that, at the crowd work. And I thought it was interesting too. John Cena, they turned him into a bad guy, and then he just sort of stopped. That's kind of funny. Anyway, I know some of you probably don't give a shit about that, but I know Alexa does, so that's why we're talking about it. And Stan wants the fist bump. I can't give a fist bump because this stupid software wants me to pay $40 a month to show you a fist bump, which is ridiculous. So you just have to imagine it. Boston Bay says Tandy takes a summer off and comes back with the internet of Mike Zakarian. Absolutely. Wrestling is cute, said Boston Based. It is cute. It's a male soap opera, basically. That's what it is. What else can we discuss, everybody? The NBA season is almost back. That's fun. The Celtics, my team, not looking so hot, but you never know. You never know what the front office has and it's under its sleeve before the season does begin. They're definitely not very favored when people are talking about who's going to make it out of the East. I think the Knicks are definitely more favored than they are. There is actually a big boxing match today, Crawford and Canelo. Talking wrestling, the WWE is going to Riyadh for WrestleMania, which just shows you how the WWE has become a completely capitalist organization ever since TKO purchased them, and TKO owns the WWE and the UFC. And the almighty dollar is the only thing that matters nowadays for pro wrestling. Josh Giddey, the Giddler, got $100 million just now to play with the Bulls. I keep seeing Kuminga Cumbuckets. Cumbuckets keeps coming up on my internet. Cumbuckets is all over my search history. So yeah, Kuminga. Did the Warriors pay him for a year? I feel like they did. I don't remember now, but anyway. So that's what's going on there. And yeah, the Celtics, they got Anthony Simons if they don't trade him. Like, I don't know if the Celtics are going full tank mode or what's going on, but I hope they don't. I hope that Anthony Simons starts playing well, and then the Celtics add a couple pieces. It just feels like the new owners maybe just don't want to get under that luxury tax while Jason Tatum is injured, and so they're willing to just let the team suck for a year. I'm of course worried though that that they might continue to make these kind of decisions and mess up the culture of the Boston Celtics like the Red Sox did. Peachy Luro is here. Hello, stranger, he says. Stan Loves wants to talk Eurobasket. And Eurobasket. I saw that what's his name from the Jazz scored like 45 points. Was it Laurie Markkinen? One of those dudes scored like 45 points. Where is the Eurobasket in its playoff right now? I saw that Portugal actually won a couple of games. That was exciting. Nemias Queta played his ass off a couple times. You know what? I'm not even going to try to load that page because my internet's probably going to drop again. And I'm seeing how long we can go without my internet dropping once again. So Top Shot Hot Shot says, am I doing anything on all day? I have not been, to be honest, Top Shot Hot Shot, but I see what they're doing there. It looks interesting. I like this huddle thing that they're doing there. I think that you actually said in the replies you wanted me to talk about huddle. I think that's a really interesting idea. All Day is doing a lot of interesting things on the play side of things. I saw that they gave $100,000 to one winner. I saw that Mets actually wrote that they should be doing a better job, though, publicizing that. I would agree. They do need to do a better job there. But it is interesting. I like this huddle idea. I like being able to team up with people. I like that this chat feature came out in NBA Top Shot. This whole social idea of getting together with other people is a really nice concept. And it's something that I think these platforms needed forever. I mean, if they could have had it earlier, it would have been even better, but at least they have it now. And Top Shot Hotshot said, I just bought $5,000 worth of Cumbuckets coin. Thank you for the alpha. No problem, Top Shot Hotshot. Whatever I can do to help you make some money. Germany versus Turkey will be the gold final, says Stan Loves. Interesting. Germany is usually pretty good, if I'm not mistaken. They won today versus Finland and Greece. That's cool. I got to admit, I would love to go see some like Eurobasket games like in person. Unfortunately, in Portugal, basketball does not have a strong culture at all, which is why it's even more exciting or interesting that Portugal won a few games, because the games here, they look like they're being played in a high school gym. Like there's really next to no culture in basketball here. They have a couple clubs that have some players here, but not really players that you ever heard of. And there's just not a big like professional basketball culture, I should say. There's definitely people definitely like the NBA here in Portugal, and people play basketball here for fun. But in terms of professional basketball, it's all about football, aka soccer. And other than that, the other, like, basketball is on the same level as, like, um, they call it patins. It's like hockey with roller skates on. I think that might actually be more popular than pro basketball in this country. Oh man, I'm not even kidding. Um, hmm. Someone else asked about trading. I wanted to actually share some charts and look at some charts with you guys because I enjoy that. Like that's how I'm trying to earn a living right now. It's I mean, it's not easy. Some months are decent and it feels like I'm figuring things out, and other months are dreadful and it's like no way. This is way too high risk. If anyone, if any of you guys are interested in trading, the best piece of advice I can give you is don't quit your day job or don't get fired if you can help it, because it's really not easy. It's not easy at all. But I do like to discuss like what's going on. You know, we look at the Bitcoin chart, for example. We can look at the S&P and just see what's happening. Well, it seems like I can share it. So why don't we look at it together? Let's see. So yeah, we can look at charts together. Who wants to learn about charts? So if we look at Bitcoin, here's what's going on with the price of Bitcoin. Bitcoin, this is a 30-minute chart. But you can see that today we reached highs that we haven't seen in quite a while at $116,000. We haven't seen those highs since, well, August 22nd. So not that long ago, but still it felt like we were on our way down, and not the case. As you can see, we are trending upward. I think that is in a big part because of what's happening with the inflation. So because the borrowing rates are probably going to come down, that often spells for positive reactions in crypto. And so I think that could be why this is happening. And apparently I just got a notification that Ethereum is pumping. So as you can see here, Ethereum, well, my internet might drop now. Okay, here we go. Ethereum is nearing all-time highs. This is Ethereum. Look what Ethereum has done today. That's crazy. Ethereum is blasting off today. Ethereum is at 4,683, and the all-time high is just under 5,000. So Ethereum is pretty damn close to all-time highs. Let's go look at Solana. Solana, look at that. Solana at 240, also very close to all-time highs. Why don't we look at Flow? I know you guys like looking at Flow. Flow, definitely not close to all-time highs, but it is trending upward, at least over the last, it bottomed. Short-term bottom was over here at 34 cents. It's now up to 42 cents. But all-time highs, that is where I purchased Flow. All-time highs. And this chart doesn't show it for some reason. Oh, that's because you couldn't buy it when I bought it. I bought it when I thought I was a genius. That's when it was all the way up here. $27. So that's why you always want to look at things for yourself instead of just blindly investing or watching someone on YouTube and thinking, I'm going to follow this guy, because that's not how things always work. So if we go look at Bitcoin again, if we go look at the weekly chart, this is very bullish behavior. Very bullish behavior. If we go see the low here was at 107,369. And the low here, okay, so this is something interesting actually. This is a little show and tell for you guys, okay? This is a little show and tell for you guys. So I want you guys to pay attention. The low on Bitcoin on this week right here was, so look, it put 3 straight weeks of lows, right? Every week here was a lower low, a lower low, a lower low. That lower low in the 25th of August, on that Monday, that week, That low was 107,369. Now, what happened on the next week? On the next week, we took that low by about $100, a little over $100. But you can see, looking at the candlesticks, it just tapped the low. It just like inched past the low. And then we took right back up. Now, the reason why this is interesting, or why I find it interesting, is because this is something called a failed breakdown. And the way this works is, once the low gets taken out, this low gets taken out and then the buyers bring it back, this can very often mean that sellers got head faked basically here. They took this liquidity here and they brought it right back up. And so that's what we're seeing right here. This would be a failed directional candle. It's green. That's a bullish indicator. And then obviously you see this. So I think that the next week, it's very possible that we hit up here or higher, probably up here, because you see all this price action right around here. So I would say that next week, if we continue bullish, I wouldn't be surprised to see us at around $119,000 by next Friday on Bitcoin. So there you go. There's your financial education. If you get rich, send me $40 so I can play you videos on StreamYard. Professional gambling is what Alexo says. If I'm not mistaken, Alexo, didn't you used to do a lot of meme coin trading? I feel like you did. Stan says Flow dropped out of the top 100 coins a while ago, and he says, no, if it makes you feel better, the all-time high was $46. Well, Stan, that does make me feel better. It would make me feel worse if I bought it at 27 and then it went to 46. That would make me feel worse. But I don't think that's what happened. I'm pretty sure I bought it at 27 and then it just went down. Well, Banana's here. She showed up with 5 minutes to go when I was just about to turn the stream off. But Banana, thank you for being in the chat. Banana Banking Mac of the Collecting and Connecting crew. These guys and gals, they really care about providing you content. And if you want people that don't take breaks, apparently, they are giving you content every. Paulie Walnuts is over there with his What Do You Collect show. I wanted to get Paulie Walnuts on this show, aka Wiz Wit Paulie, I believe is his username. No summers off, says Banana. And yeah, but they're really hustling. 3 balls got Banana working like a dog. But they're working hard, and so I hope you guys go check their stuff out and give them the likes and comments as well, because it's important. And Paulie was like all over the place. I want to talk to Paulie, to be honest, because Paulie, he is hustling very hard. He's getting people from all walks of life. He had the panini people, he had the candy people, I should say. Then he had the panini collectors on his show recently. And he's like at the different conventions. He's at the card collecting conventions, interviewing people. He's at the Adult Video Awards, interviewing people about digital collectibles. Paulie is all over the place. Banana says, is my Canadian accent not enough for you? Well, sorry. Let's see. What else? We're pretty much at time. I didn't do I don't have a countdown video right now. So what am I supposed to do? I don't have the 5-minute buffer to get me closer to an hour anymore. My internet is very bad. Stan says we need Mets. So here's the thing about that, Stan. I know that Mets is just chewing at the bit to come on here and just be as in your face as possible. And I know that you guys enjoy that. But I still have a working relationship with NBA Top Shot. And for as long as I have a working relationship with NBA Top Shot, which I hope is a while longer, I hope it's not ending anytime soon, but as long as that's going on, I can't really have people on the show that are going to get on here and just, really tear apart Top Shot. If Mets, though, if he wants to make his own show, He has freedom of speech. He should be able to do that. And you should be able to go there and hang out with Mets and talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. But yeah, in terms of the guests that I can have on the show, I just feel like I can't really be completely shitting on there. Peachy says, your internet is as bad as the Celtics next season. Well, Peachy, we will screenshot this. And if the Celtics are any good, I will definitely screenshot this and share it with you later. And if they are not good, I will forget you ever said this. Is there anything else that you guys want to talk about? I'll give you like 2 more minutes. And, ooh, look at that. I can put myself in a circle. And if there's anything else you guys want to talk about, let me know. I'll go take a quick gander at the timeline. Well, Boston-based made a tweet. He said, I will not buy another NBA Top Shot moment until Roham unblocks me. And he tagged Roham. But the funny thing is, Roham won't see that post because you're blocked. So you might have to send him a letter. Duck race is calling, says Banana Banking Mac. Should we do a duck race? We don't really have a whole lot of ducks in the chat, but I'm fine with doing it if you guys want to. I don't even know what to give away. Let's see, duck race. I feel like everybody else is going to have to tag Roham to get Boston base cleared. All right, well, we can do a duck race. Quack in the chat if you want to be on the duck race. I will send you a licensed NBA Top Shot NFT. A real digital collectible on NBA Top Shot, licensed by the NBA. Quack in the chat if you want one. Let's see. All right. I feel like there's so few people here. I'll just type you in. We got Banana. We got Alexo. Who else wants to be in the duck race? Top Shot, Hot Shot. Jordan. Anybody else? Oh, Peachy's here. We'll throw Peachy and Stan in there, even though they're not quacking in the chat. And Boston base. And okay, if anybody else wants to be in the duck race, please quack now or forever hold your peace. We will do a duck race if my internet allows me. I can't even put the duck race on right now. My internet's so bad. This is crazy. Well, all right, there it is. There's the duck race. I think, well, or my internet might be cutting out. My gosh. Oh boy. You guys hear me? I don't even know if this is working for a logo. This has not been a technically strong show. Technical difficulties nonstop. Oh my gosh. All right, here's the duck race, everybody. Are you guys in there? Who wants to be in there? All right. We got 7 ducks. Let's run it. Let's see who wins a real life NFT, real life basketball collectible. Here we go. On your mark, get set, go. Oh, here we go. All the ducks are all in a line. Let's turn off the quacking. Okay, put the quacking down. Let's get that quacking down. All right, so Alexa's in the lead. He's got the duck with the skin disease, but here comes Banana Baking Mac. She is in the lead at the bottom there. Naked Duck, which definitely is working in her favor. Top Shot, Hot Shot, though, with the snorkel, he's showing you what a professional duck he can be. And here comes Jordan with the green stars. Jordan with the green stars. He is inching his way to the front. Jordan has one beak, one duck's head in front. But these are the last 15 seconds. This is when the ducks get rugged. Jordan and Stan are head to head, but here comes Boston Base, the naked duck right at the top. Could he take it? It definitely looks like he might. But here comes Jordan with the Nas. He's got the Nas. The afterburners are on, and Jordan is your winner. Congratulations, Jordan. Number 4, nice number. Green stars. We have not seen a naked duck with green stars take the win before. But Jordan, you are our winner. Remind me what your Top Shot username is, and I will send you a real life NBA Top Shot digitally licensed collectible as soon as I can. So thank you, Jordan, for being such a fast duck, and congratulations. Stan Laws wants an investigation on why that duck was green. We will have to look into that. So J Santaga 10. J Santaga 10. All right, Jordan. I'll send you something. I can't promise you that it's going to be very good. But it'll be something. When the sponsors come back one day, we'll get some rares to give away. I was thinking about ripping a pack and giving away the pack contents, but the only pack available is the Ultimate Chase pack. I don't have $500 to give you guys a legendary. So we might have to wait till next stream to give you something. But anyway, he said you can put it towards a future duck race too. All right. Well, Jordan, we'll see. I'll try. I'll get you something just as a token of your win, just so you know that you won. But anyways, thanks to you guys for showing up. I appreciate it. I know it's been a long time. I appreciate you guys showing up though. And I hope you've had a good summer. And I think we'll do this again next week. I can't. We'll see. I think so. If you guys want to, we'll do it next week. And I hope to get Paulie Walnuts on here. I mean, Banana was also a fun guest. We'll get Banana on here again one day. And we will talk again soon. So thanks again. Have a good rest of your Friday. Have a good evening. Have a good weekend. And take care. All right. No outro because StreamYard won't let me use it. So no outro. And I will try to find a new streaming platform. But take care, everybody. And we'll talk again soon.